going over the current state of it. Well, it looked like Adam Silver has to insert himself into this whole situation because for whatever reason, these WNBA owners and these WNBA players cannot figure it out. And the league...
This isn't hyperbole at all. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner who has stayed hands-off with WNBA operations for years, has now stepped directly into CBA negotiations. When the boss of your boss shows up to clean up the situation, it says everything about how serious and unstable things have become. The WNBA now has just 8 days left before the January 9th deadline, and instead of progress, both sides are reportedly farther apart than they were when negotiations first began more than a year ago.
Even share. The WNBA has been running pretty much on bankrupt tendencies for the last 30 years. These owners has not made a profit. I don't know why these players keep trying to erase the past 30 years. Like, y'all can't just press rewind, fast forward, and speed up till today. So what y'all popping right now, y'all has not ever been popping like this before.
Here's what's actually on the table and why players keep rejecting it. The league's latest proposal includes a $1 million base salary and a salary cap increase from $1.5 million to $5 million per team, pushing the average player's salary to about $417,000. For context, that's nearly triple what players were earning just 3 years ago. The offer also includes full player housing, comprehensive health care, and improved travel conditions. However, the real issue lies in the revenue sharing model. While the league is proposing to give players 50% of a specific revenue metric, that metric excludes media rights revenue and subtracts certain expenses first. Under this structure, players would end up receiving less than 15% of the league's total revenue, and that's the true sticking point.
8 weeks into the season, he already faces a gambling scandal, which we've been covering that on the channel pretty much for the past couple months. It stated an investigation into the Clippers for alleged salary cap circumstance and the league's potential future in Europe. Well, about a month ago, Adam Silver vowed to take on another high-level item on his to-do list, and that is the WNBA collective bargaining agreement.
Silver's involvement signals something crucial that many players seem to be overlooking. The NBA has subsidized WNBA operations for 27 straight years, with every single season operating at a loss. There isn't meaningful revenue to share because no profit has been generated. So when Adam Silver says he's available to do whatever is necessary, what he's really saying is, figure this out before the NBA decides the investment is no longer worth it. The timing matters. Caitlin Clark entered the league in April 2024, and ratings immediately exploded. The Indiana Fever averaged 1.2 million viewers per regular season game, with playoff games reaching 3.2 million viewers. That's real measurable growth. But one breakout rookie doesn't erase 3 decades of financial losses. Owners have been covering deficits every year, and now they're being asked to share revenue that, at least for now, still doesn't truly exist.
The WNBA and WBPA and more than a year into negotiations for a new transformational CBA agreement. We all know that deadline is coming up on January the 9th. Now, the results of a second extension as both sides continue to exchange proposals, with sources telling front office sports meetings are taking place almost daily. Players are not feeling hopeful as Silver. So it looked like players is telling.
This is where the conflict of interest becomes especially intriguing. Breanna Stewart, who was quoted in that front office sports article saying she welcomed Adam Silver's involvement, also serves as vice president of the Players Union Executive Committee and is one of the primary negotiators sitting across from league ownership. At the same time, Stewart is a co-founder of Unrivaled, the new 3-on-3 basketball league launching this month as a domestic alternative to overseas play. Now, consider the incentives. If the WNBA were to enter a lockout, where would elite players go to stay in game shape and earn money? Unrivaled would suddenly become the only viable option. Adding to the optics, Nafisa Collier, Stewart's co-founder at Unrivaled, is also deeply involved in these CBA negotiations. Quietly, some around the league are beginning to question whether certain players truly want a deal finalized before the season, or whether a lockout might actually benefit Unrivaled's interests.
It is not rocket science with what is going on with the current state of the WNBA. Let's get back to the article, man. So the article goes on to say, Adam Silver stated, more often than not, we're the ones. Oh no, I believe this is Kelsey Plum. She stated, more often than not, we're the ones that we are willing to compress, and there still aren't big budget. Oh, this is Breonna Stewart, actually. My apologies. Goes on to say, who is also as vice president of the union's executive. Now, there is
The Players Union continues to point to the NBA's revenue sharing model as the standard they want to follow. In the NBA, players receive 50% of basketball-related income, a system that works because the league generates roughly $11 billion in annual revenue. By comparison, the WNBA generated about $200 million in revenue in 2024, which may sound impressive until you realize that's less than 2% of the NBA's total. Here's the math that matters. If WNBA players receive the same 50% revenue share, and that amount were divided across the league's 144 roster spots, the average salary would come out to around $690,000, actually higher than the $417,000 currently being offered. But that calculation assumes the league is breaking even, which it isn't. Once operating losses are factored in, the current proposal starts to look far more generous than insulting.
Unrivaled. At least they think it's going to help. I don't think Unrivaled is going to do very good this year. I just got to be honest. I don't even think I'm going to cover Unrivaled unless it's like some bombshell player or something like that to happen. I don't believe it's even going to be relevant, man. Now, it goes on to say, earlier this month, the proposal included $1 million base salary, according to multiple sources familiar with the negotiations. In addition, the league proposed a revenue sharing model that would give players 50% of revenue metric that would not include all revenue and would have some expenses deducted. Under this proposal model, players would end up receiving less than 15% of league's total revenue.
Kelsey Plum said something revealing in December when she discussed the negotiations, claiming that players are the ones willing to compromise and that major budget issues still need to be resolved. But compromise means both sides giving something up, and it's fair to ask what the players have actually compromised on. They rejected the initial proposal, then rejected a revised offer with higher salary caps, while continuing to demand revenue-sharing terms that would require owners to absorb ongoing losses while paying players, as if the league were already profitable. That isn't compromise. It's asking for NBA-level money while generating WNBA-level revenue. Owners did remove some benefits from later proposals, including certain housing provisions, but that came after players turned down earlier offers that included those benefits. In negotiations, rejecting a deal doesn't entitle you to keep every element of it in the next offer. The players also appear to believe that Caitlin Clark's rating surge in 2024 gives them permanent leverage. But leverage only works if you're truly willing to walk away, and walking away from the WNBA risks leaving no league to return to.